Hello everybody, it's David Lilly here again with another very useful marketing tip for you. Today we're going to learn how to send a video message via email. Now, before we get into the detail of this, there are systems out there that you can pay to use to send a video via email. One of them is iJot and another one we'll look at in a little while is Bom Bom. But why should we even consider sending video by email? Well, let me show you. I typically get about 200 emails a day. You can see here, look, all these different emails that have been sent through to me over the course of the last period of time. There's just a huge number of emails. With the best will in the world, I can't read them all, don't have time to, so I concentrate on the ones where I have an association with the person or whether they've written a damn good thought-provoking headline, which we'll cover in another video. But then the content has to grab me, and often it doesn't. Often it requires too much in the way of reading, reams and reams of copy, all sorts of things to click through. So this is a great opportunity for you to send a video message. You know, if you were to write something that you'd say in 2 minutes, would probably take you 15 minutes to write by the time you'd finished editing it. So sending a video instead of a standard email is a sexy way and a very catchy way of getting your message across. Now, we've already talked about iJot. As you can see, if you want to use iJot, there is a free option. I have used iJot and did used to use it extensively. I found that it does have some issues. It's not supported greatly by Android, although I'm told they are working on that. There is another system called Bom Bom, which is absolutely brilliant, very reliable. This one does have an Android app. You can use it for free for 14 days, but then they get into charging you $39 a month, right up to $1,299 for a one-time setup, depending very much on how often you're going to use it and whether you're using it professionally or not. And this shows you the various different support things. So if you're in business and you've got a big database of people, you might very well want to subscribe to something like that. But the challenge is, if we subscribe to every single thing that we're asked to subscribe to, then we wouldn't have much change out of 10 grand, and for small businesses that's sometimes difficult. So I'm going to show you an alternative way to do this. So I'm going to go to my YouTube channel. So I'm logged in. Notice if we look over here where I'm scrolling, I'm logged into my Marketing Innovations YouTube account, and I'm going to click upload. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go down here to where it says create videos. I'm going to click on record. And then what I'm going to do, see the box pops up, I'm going to click start recording. Now, before you see my ugly mug on screen, it will ask you to choose which camera. Now, I'm choosing a web camera that's separate to my laptop because I'm actually in my studio today. So I'll check that one, click close and click allow. And what you should see happen in a second is you should see my ugly mug. And we are now recording. Now, I do apologise for the quality of my actual webcam. It's due to the dark conditions that I'm in. I don't do video recording in here. I do video editing in here. But imagine I'm sending a message to Sarah, my wife, to tell her I love her. Let's say potentially she might be in hospital and I want to send her something different to a text message. Or let's say it's a new client you've had a great meeting with and you want to continue to cement that relationship. This is a very different way to sending that boring old plain text email. So I've rattled on for 35 seconds there. I'm now going to stop recording. Every time I see myself on video, I realise that my face was definitely made for radio. We then click continue. I'm going to now title the message called Special Message for Mrs. Sarah Lilly. The other thing I'm going to do is to make this video unlisted. The term unlisted means that people won't find it on YouTube unless they've got the link, and they're not obviously going to have the link. So at that, I can click save. Now, if I then go to my dashboard, what we should see is a special message for Sarah Lilly. If I click on that, that will play. There you go. So now what I need to do is quite simply copy my screen. To do that on most keyboards, it's quite simply Alt and Print Screen, which I've just done. I'm then going to go into PowerPoint, just plain old PowerPoint, and I'm going to paste that image I've just taken. And then I'm going to go up to format here and crop the image. And all I want to do is to crop the bit showing my ugly mug with my mouth half open, which I'm going to do there. Literally just leave the video play box. Then what I can do is shrink that down to probably about, I would suggest about that size, so you can see it better. You can increase what you're visibly seeing here. Then what you might want to do is to drop a shape in that looks like a video play button. Yeah, go on, drop it over your ugly mug, David. So I'll drop it over slightly over my ugly mug. Move it slightly to that side, and we'll make that green, which seems to be a common play button. We can also, so we're not leaving the person we send it to in any doubt, add some text in. Please click green button to play. So you can't see that text along because I've got it in black, standard black font, but what I'm going to do is to convert that to white font. Probably, actually, let's make it yellow. You can play around with the colours and then make it bold. Yeah, I think it's fair to say we can see that now. Please press green button to play. Then all I need to do is I want to highlight all of that just by grabbing your mouse and left clicking, and you'll highlight it all, and you can then right click and save as picture. Now I'm going to save that on my desktop. Special message for Mrs. Sarah Lily. Special message for Mrs. Sarah Lily. I'm going to save it as a JPEG, but you could save it as a PNG file if you wanted. And I click save. Now what I need to do is to simply go into my email. Now I use Thunderbird as my email. You may be using Lotus Notes, you could be using Outlook, you could be using Windows Live. All of those different email systems will allow you to do what I'm going to share with you now. I'll write Sarah's email address in first of all, and write special message for Mrs. Sarah Lily. Okay, just ignore all of that. And then what I need to do is quite simply insert that image into the email, into the body of the email. Bearing in mind I'm looking on my desktop, so somewhere down here, there we go, special Mrs. Sarah Lily. And alternate text, I don't need to use alternate text in this case. You might find your settings are slightly different on yours. That should then allow me, you see, there you go, there's the video box. Now of course that's just a picture, it ain't going to play like it is. So what I need to do is to click on the image and then click insert link. On your system it might say hyperlink. Now the box comes up for a hyperlink then. So what I need to do is go back to the YouTube video that I created, click on share, and the link that people need to receive to get to the video is there, just quite simply appears. So we copy that link, we go back to the message, and we cut and paste that into there. Yeah, and then we click on OK. Now I'm going to send it to myself instead of Sarah, actually, if you wonder what the hell it's about. So I'll just send it to myself. So special message for Mrs. Sarah Lily, relatively straightforward process, and then we click send, and the email is going to send. Now what we'll do is we'll just make sure that we send and receive, and watch what happens now. Yeah, special message Mrs. Sarah Lily. We open it up, and sure as damn it, there is the picture of yours truly. We click on that. What that should do now is take us through to the video that we created earlier. Now, of course, that would be saying, "Hi Sarah, it's David. I just wanted to let you know how much I love you. Get well soon. Blah blah blah." Now, can you imagine the power of that versus sending someone a pretty boring standard email or text message? Now, bear in mind, people who are going to receive that on a smartphone will also be able to get that as well, which I'll try and demonstrate to you as well. So if you sent that email and someone's receiving it on a smartphone, most smartphones are very friendly now with YouTube. They should be able to click on it and straight away that video would open up. Now, well, the great thing about what I've just shown you, if you're only going to send, you know, a couple of dozen of these out a year, then you're going to avoid such big cost as this. There's no reason why you couldn't be sending a video like that out to, you know, 25 people who are in your team or people you work with, or a Christmas message of that type. But that's a great way of standing out in the crowd, doing something different, and sending a message which allows your personality, your emotions to come across far more than a standard email or a text message would ever do. Hope you got great value from that. It's David Lilly. Until next time, thank you.